Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I will recap the movie titled Memory. Alex Lewis is a contract killer living in Mexico who suffers from early on-stage Alzheimer's and works on behalf of devious Sealman. One day, after taking out one man in a hospital, he forgets where he put his car keys, signaling that his condition is getting worse. Later, he goes to Mexico to tell another hitman, Mauricio, that he is retiring due to his old age and health condition. Mauricio rebukes him and in a friendly manner makes fun of him. Later, he hires Alex for one last job before his retirement, and Alex hesitatingly agrees. Soon, he heads off to Texas. While standing in the lobby of his hotel, he forgets his room number, making him write his details on his arm. Later, he meets up with a middleman who gives him details on his task. Alex is tasked with killing a man in El Paso named Ellis Van Camp, a builder for the Texas Central Processing Facility. Later, Alex goes to visit his elder brother, who turns out to be a resident at a nursing home due to his dementia. Alex has a heart-to-heart with him as he realizes that sooner or later he will become like that due to his medical condition. Meanwhile, Special Agent Vincent Serra of the FBI's Child Exploitation Task Force goes undercover to bring down a trafficker named Papillion in El Paso, who is responsible for trafficking his 13-year-old daughter named Beatriz. The daughter finds out that Vincent is an undercover cop and tries to warn his dad. The FBI team swiftly acts and tries to arrest the guy. Vincent ends up killing Papillion after he takes Beatriz hostage. Later, FBI head Nussbaum comes in and reprimands Vincent and Linda for killing Papillion. Beatriz is later taken to the Central Processing Facility due to being undocumented. After an interview with Vincent, she is placed in Child Protective Services after being granted a protection visa. At night, while Ellis' wife leaves home, Alex finds him. Ellis takes him upstairs and gives him some flash drives from his safe. Meanwhile, Ellis' daughter almost finds them, but Alex kills Ellis silently. On the next day, Linda and Vincent make their way to the crime scene and find that Nussbaum and Danny Mora are already conducting an interview with Ellis' wife. Regardless of their questions, she does not give any valuable information to them, but tells them that it was a robbery as the safe was opened. Later, at the task force's headquarters, Nussbaum reorganizes the team and also insults Vincent for giving Beatriz a visa. The next day, Alex is tasked with killing Beatriz. He follows Vincent to their hideout and at night raids the home silently. But at the last minute, he refuses to do it and gets back in the car. As children are off limits to Alex, he tracks down Devana's lawyer, William Borden, whom he threatens. As a result, Borden calls Devana in Mexico, telling her that Alex has refused to do the job and also has the flash drive with him. Devana gets frustrated at this and orders Borden to handle the situation. As a result, Beatriz is instead killed by Mauricio, which causes Alex to become infuriated, and he later decides to seek revenge on Devana. After Alex shags up with a woman he meets at a bar upon helping her after a drunken man begins coming onto her, the woman is shot dead by Mauricio, who also attempts to kill Alex. Mauricio and Alex later get into a shootout, which ends with Alex gaining the upper hand and catching him. He eventually puts the woman in the trunk and ties Mauricio to the steering wheel before bombing the vehicle. The next day, Vincent finds out about the woman and Mauricio's death. Danny Moore explains that the woman was shot in the neck before she blew up in the car. Later in a gym, Alex shoots dead William Borden and then manages to get a look into the data inside the flash drive. Alex finds out that Devana's son Randy took advantage of Beatriz and Ellis was using this footage as a leverage on her. Finding out that Borden is dead ultimately causes Devana's son Randy to panic upon realizing that the person who killed both Ellis and William will likely soon come for him. On the other hand, Vincent and Linda make their way to Borden's dead body and inspect the crime scene. The team begins piecing together the information, and Vincent, along with Detective Marquez and Special Agent Linda, uncover that William is the lawyer for Randy Sealman, who owns the Central Processing Facility, and that Ellis is the builder for the Central Processing Facility, who were both shot with the same exact slug, and the three then realize that anyone with connections to the facility is ending up dead. They realize that Randy Sealman will likely be next. Also, Danny tells the team that they had earlier found Alzheimer's pills on the crime scene of Mauricio's death. After a few days, Alex calls Vincent and tells them that Borden and his client are quite rich, and they are using all their money to make sure Randy remains safe. Vincent and Linda have no idea what he is talking about. They manage to trace his call, but Alex runs away before they can get to him. Later, Marquez visits Borden's wife in her swimming pool. He asks her about Borden's known associates, but she refuses to tell him anything and even tries seducing him. But Marquez simply declines her and leaves. Marquez tells Vincent that he knows that Randy's mother is a real estate owner in Mexico, and after further research, they find out that Alex is going after Randy. After Randy hosts a party on a yacht, the FBI arrives in an attempt to make sure he doesn't die. In the parking, Vincent finds another box of Alzheimer's pills. alerting him that Alex is hot on Randy's trail. After some time, Alex manages to kill Randy due to having hidden out on the yacht before the party had even begun. After Alex makes a run for it, he is cornered by Vincent and Marquez but manages to escape despite Marquez inflicting a gunshot wound on him. Police scrambles to find Alex, but he succeeds in evading after changing his cars. Meanwhile, Vincent explains to Nussbaum that they have found out who Alex is, a hitman who worked for clients in Mexico. Nussbaum is appreciative of Alex's work with Randy as Davana had hired extra bodyguards to protect her son but still failed. Alex later passes out in the car and an officer finds him. Before he can do anything, Alex shoots him and then recovers inside his hideout, which is a former bakery owned by his deceased father. He manages to suppress the bleeding after some struggle. Meanwhile, Vincent's team finds out that Alex Lewis is actually dead. Linda says that due to a fire in the bakery, which was started by Alex, his father died, but his brother was saved by firefighters and now is a patient in a nursing home. Upon questioning, she also reveals that Alex lit the bakery on fire as the father was quite harsh on the kids and used to beat them up. Vincent soon asks Marquez to visit the bakery. Alex is woken up by the noise and aims to kill Marquez, but he leaves before anything can happen. Marcus goes back to the team and tells them that the bakery is a dead end as it has not been used for a while and only pigeons are living there. Linda explains that the police officer who was shot in the alley also had pigeon wings and shit marks. Vincent then calls in the team to raid the bakery. They search inside and find out that Alex patched himself there. On the other hand, Alex's Alzheimer's eventually begins worsening, but he then makes his way to Davana's penthouse in an attempt to kill her. It is also seen that Detective Mora is working to protect Davana from any threat from Alex. On the ground floor, Alex starts a firefight with the police, and instead of killing Davana, he shoots dead several police officers. He manages to trick the police into going upstairs while he confronts Davana and knocks out Mora. Unfortunately, his gun jams and Mora knocks him out. Meanwhile, Davana hires another man to kill Alex as retribution for the death of Randy. After Alex is hospitalized, Vincent and Linda retrieve the flash drives from his hideout containing the evidence of Randy having taken advantage of Beatrice. Vincent tells this to Nussbaum and goes to the hospital to talk to Alex. There he confronts Danny for working with Davana, leading to a scuffle. Upon later seeing Alex in the hospital whose ability to speak becomes hindered, Alex informs Vincent that he has evidence of Davana threatening Ellis, which should be enough to put her on trial, but claims he can't remember where he placed the recording. Vincent explains that only his testimony would not be enough to stand in the court. He also sits down and explains how his wife's killer walked out free because the kid who witnessed the crime could not point out the killer in a lineup. To help Alex, Vincent, and Nussbaum take the evidence to the Department of Justice and explain that Davana was covering for her son Randy. However, the head of justice is not satisfied with the testimony of an Alzheimer's patient. Vincent explains that he's going to find out the call recording of Davana threatening Ellis, which Alex listened to earlier on the flash drive. When he leaves, Nussbaum asks the head of justice if he is actually going to put Davana in jail, but the man refuses, showing that both men have a soft spot for Davana. Vincent heads back to Alex and asks him to remember where he put the recording, but Alex is quite stunned as he cannot remember anything. He says that he used to take notes on his arms, but now that the hospital staff has cleaned them up, he is struggling to remember. After the assassin hired to kill Alex comes for him, Alex instead takes him hostage. Nussbaum and the head of justice are sitting in the FBI van looking at footage of Alex. They explain that Alex only wants to talk to Vincent. Police later surround the hospital as Alex emerged, holding the hitman hostage and subsequently shooting him dead. Alex later goes inside Vincent's car and explains that the fake doctor managed to get past the guards easily. Alex says that Davana owns everyone, from the police to the Justice Department. He then ends up saying that Davana wishes to bury him before leaving the car and got shot dead right after. Later, Vincent goes back to wrap up the case files in his office. Linda explains that Marks has been sent back to Mexico while she is transferred to another branch and Vincent remains unassigned to any task. After Vincent later realizes that Alex gave him a clue with the word bury, he manages to retrieve the recording of Davana threatening Ellis. When he takes it to the Department of Justice, the district attorney says that it will still not be enough to prosecute. Vincent gets angry at the attorney, explaining that as Randy owned the detention center, he would take kids from jail cells and use them as his slaves, but the attorney is unmoved, still siding with Davana. As a result of their fight, Nussbaum dismisses Vincent and asks him to go on leave. Afterward, as he is cleaning the dishes, Linda comes to his apartment and asks him out to celebrate his suspension from the toxic workplace. Vincent is hesitant but joins her in the pub where they start talking about their lives. On the other hand, Davana celebrates her victory with a glass of wine in her backyard, but is killed by an unknown person. In the pub, Vincent and Linda look up at the news to find out about Davana's death. Vincent looks at Linda, who tells him that she only brought him here for that. In the end, the unknown assailant takes off his mask, revealing it to be Marquez. After burning the evidence, he runs away in his car to Mexico. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.